This is Messages from the Universe with Laurie Wondra of Your Life Core. Here, Laurie delivers information from the Mastery Realms related to astrology, planetary influences, energy surges, and generally how we are evolving. She connects with angels, guides, ascended masters, astro beings, and those that come forward with messages to help us on our journey. Welcome, everyone, to Messages from the Universe podcast.
Hello, I am Laurie Wondra, and thank you for listening. Today, I guess the angels and guides want to talk about letting go, clearing out the clutter, healing things that maybe are of no longer purpose for us. They don't serve us anymore. And before we talk about ways to forget or move past or move on in life, why is it important to understand the root cause of the problem? Why sometimes can't we let go of the past? Let's first understand why people sometimes struggle with letting go of the past, be it a bad breakup, a divorce, an accident, loss of a job or career. What is it about these sorts of experiences that hook the person's psyche? Why are these the things that stay while other things fade away? Why do maybe some people appear to be able to let things slide? Why do some things impact us more than others? Well, sometimes we have this emotional attachment. Emotions tether you to the past. Intense emotional experiences create memories that are just as strong. And every time that specific memory is triggered, you can experience the same emotion that you felt when that incident actually happened. These feelings in turn keep the memory fresh, and that's a vicious cycle. Each event also creates an energetic thread to our bodies, our energy field. If we had a strong emotional response, we have an energetic thread that attaches to our emotional body. And if we had a strong mental response, we have a thread that attaches to our mental energetic body. We can have both an emotional and a mental response, which means that there are multiple threads that attach to us based on one event. And repeat instances or replays in our mind or with our emotions create thicker threads. I've seen people with energetic ropes that are thick and very much connected to them. Knowing that a replay of something without healing holds us energetically in that space to a point where we feel stuck, trapped, or bound in such a way that just holds us in a place that we can't move forward. And sometimes nostalgia might hold us to the past. You know that annoying song that gets stuck in your head and just won't leave? A thought loop is the same thing, but instead of a song, you have a memory stuck in your head. This is called a program, and it's an installation of a memory, a thought, a belief, or emotion that has been downloaded and installed in your human system. An example of this is maybe after a breakup, there's a typical phase where you recall every romantic gesture and every amazing date you ever had with this person. The nostalgia of the past has a way of whitewashing memories that represent any mistakes or challenges that we've made, like an error in judgment or a bad decision, and somehow the pain and agony of the experience gets minimized, and we only focus on happy, vibrant memories. Those play on a loop, like a broken record, which makes answering how to forget the past and move on from your life really difficult. This partially stems from our survival instinct. We try to avoid the things that can cause us pain. As humans, we don't like pain, and we will do so much to avoid any pain that might hinder us. So this would include avoiding unpleasant things that would cause pain, like memories, or thinking through those memories. However, we're also wired to learn from our experiences and our events. And because we don't like pain, it encourages us to take different steps. When we remember a bad experience and heal its impact by feeling it, processing it, we learn and can move forward. We can get good at processing once we learn how to do this and feel safe in doing so. We begin to trust in our ability to heal, and we get excited to move away from any energy that's really holding us back so that we can truly move forward through the experience and onto something different. A lot of times, memories that are etched into our mind are usually bad, terrifying ones sometimes, like being bullied in school, being scolded by our parents, or even getting lost in the mall. These negative experiences leave their mark because they're tougher to wrap our head around. They were never part of your plan. It's a deviation from the plan that holds us up. People get fixated on the past because they feel like they've already created a script in their head about what their life should look like. People like having control and certainty, and when they lose that, they struggle with adjusting their idea of how it should have been and are not able to let go of that internal controlled dialogue. They're not able to accept change or the change of plan. This is the place we must develop trust in the universe that there is a greater plan or a greater role that we are playing, that things don't always go as we plan them to go. It is allowing yourself the ability to let go or rewrite the old script to what is actually happening. And this creates space for something new to come in. Sometimes we feel embarrassed, so embarrassment can hold us back. It might be something from a year ago, or 6 months ago, or 10 years ago. Maybe something from school, or maybe something in your workday, or something with your family. If I were to ask you to think of something that really embarrassed you, that first memory that comes to you is most likely still very raw in your mind, and in your body, and in your emotional body, and your mental body. Maybe you've done some healing, but there's still smaller thread of energy or threads of energy still there. Any incident where you get embarrassed is an experience that changes who you are. As a kid, something that is embarrassing imprints us. Along the way, we gather other imprints until we build this whole story that becomes part of our identity. It takes time, processing, and deep work to remove untrue stories or those imprints. It takes work and practice and willingness to change the story that you tell about yourself. And if this includes the stories others have about you, it takes even more time to rewrite those. Family stories of embarrassment for a sibling are often told as funny stories or jokes or teasing, but they can be so harmful. Nicknames can even be harmful. We never know how the other person is going to or has processed any memory. That story you identify with has been worn like a cape for perhaps your entire life, but it might not be you, but what you allowed to be tagged to you. Maybe you passed on a job offer that could have changed your life, or you chose to date someone who ended up being a not so good person. Such decisions can make you question your entire life, right down to the brand of cereal you like to eat. It is in no way easy to let go of past mistakes and maybe shame that you've attached to it that maybe make you feel as you are today. And this takes courage to dive into those and to understand that was maybe the best choice you decided to make at that time. And now you're smarter, you're wiser, you're older. Knowing the details you have now, you would not have made that choice. There's also a huge component of forgiveness in this, forgiving yourself for maybe making a choice and understanding why you made that choice. So now that we have an idea of how some of those things get stuck to us, those energy threads, let's talk about how we can get rid of them, because they do become sticky energy. And as life goes on, those threads of energy continue to grow. As we've understood, getting stuck in the past is pretty complicated. By now, you've probably understood if and why you're fixated on a specific part of your past. And before you start healing, you need to remember that admitting this is in no way making you weak. Don't put yourself down for any negative self-discovery or self-perceptions. Let your admission prove that you could be a meticulous person, a perfectionist, a survivalist, a sensitive person, and above all, a very smart person who doesn't want to hold on to this energy, who doesn't want to repeat those things of the past. So the big question now is how to forget or heal the past and move on. And I don't believe that we totally forget the past. It's more about healing. You may have heard me talk in the past about cutting cords and threads, and I don't believe that we can fully cut them or sever them, but we heal them. And all of this is about how to let go, how to navigate through this so that we can move on. If there's things that are holding us back that prevent us from being happy or seeking joy, how do we let that go or heal that so we can be happy again? So let's talk about some of the things that we can do to navigate through this energy. The first one is really letting go of the energy through our mental processes. And that's what I say, not to forget it. We don't want to shove it down to only have a memory or have us be triggered at some point in the future, but how do we soften it, heal it, understand it? Many people who struggle with the event of moving on have had traumatic experiences in the past. And that's the first step, is understanding. Most people, if not all, have had experiences that have created roadblocks, have created uncomfortableness, have created these energetic threads that create anchors in our lives. And most people get tired of carrying those anchors around because after a while, if they get bigger, they get heavier, and they hold us back more. We want to get on with life. Again, the universe is ever-changing energy, so the universe is pushing us. So here we have this energetic anchor that's holding us back, and the universe that's applying pressure to move us forward. Of course, this puts us in this place of having to act or having to do something. And most of us have had our emotional bodies poked and prodded for the last 5 or 7 years as we're healing this area of our emotional being. We've been in the space of understanding our ancestral wounds or the wounds in this lifetime that are getting triggered that we just need to face. We need to heal. We need to put some sort of closure or direction to them because the universe is going to continue to poke at them in an attempt to shift us so we can move forward. So letting go of the thoughts that are around our wounds are the first place. So if something bad has happened to you in the past, you're still standing. You're here. We celebrate you. This means that you did something right in the past to allow you to be here, now, present. That makes you a survivor. The only way to handle tragedy is by understanding your strength and growing stronger. It's celebrating that you're here, but it's also celebrating and understanding that your parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, and great-great-grandparents also experienced trauma, drama, loss, challenges, all of those things in their lives. And you're here. You're of that lineage. You come from a long line of survivors. That's humanity. This is a time to acknowledge what you did to survive and how you got to today. You're not a weak victim who lets things happen to them. Instead, you are a fighter who stopped things from getting worse. Be proud of you and how your past has made you who you are today. Acknowledge those events, but don't allow them to anchor or force you into a place that prevents you from living your life. This is a time to take back your power, and it starts with your thought process. I'm not saying that this is going to heal it all, but it's a starting process. In your mind, think and believe you have the capability to move forward because you are a survivor and it's in your DNA and it's in the energy of the universe. And you have energy that's all around you that's supporting you in the pathway of healing. Then expand your understanding of yourself. The answer to how to let go of the past and be happy lies in understanding yourself. This is where we get into the emotional stuff and the mental thought processes that kind of linger between those two. Being someone who can't let go of the past is likely that you tend to be really hard on yourself. You expect more from yourself, and that's why you maybe feel guilty about making mistakes or even use that word mistakes. Was it truly a mistake or just something that happened? Or was it an opportunity to not do something else? Those thought processes need healing and a change of language. You're not perfect, but neither is anyone else around you. And I like to use the term, you actually are perfect as you are right now. You're perfectly perfect because you aren't anything else. But if you're going to judge yourself, go to the place that everybody makes mistakes and everybody has opportunities to learn and everybody's healing. And as you heal and understand yourself, please be kinder to yourself so you can look back on all those points in your life, those decisions or those actions or the non-actions, and make sure you see those steps as growth steps or understanding, and they help you understand how you got to where you are today. You can also see the growth and what actions provides to you as the person, because this is who you have become today. Did you grow, change? Did you agree? Had you known then what you know today, would you have chosen differently? You need to go easy on yourself and understand that you did the best that you could within the limits that were imposed on you at that point in your life. Show yourself some compassion. I'm wondering if you show yourself the same compassion that you might show to another human. It might be helpful to look or see a bigger picture. Instead of just analyzing your own actions, take actions of others and the circumstances into account when you look back or when you look around you. Talk about moving forward. Take steps to move forward, to live in the present and not be tethered to the memory of the past. Most of us know someone that lives in the past. Conversations may be of a point in the past. So next family gathering or class reunion or hanging out with friends, just pay attention. What's the conversation, the memories that tie us together? It gives us a common safe place to be, a place to begin. But do we stay there? Do we spend our entire time together only talking about those memories or the things that bring us together? Can we create new memories? Do we speak about the future, our goals, our dreams, or something that we're working towards? Notice how and where the conversation goes. I believe as we get older, we don't want to be lingering in the painful past memories. We'll share good stories of the past, but the evolving soul also wants to experience as much as it can while we're here on earth, and the natural force of that will propel us forward. Speak forward. It's also to live in the moment. The past can be very gripping sometimes, like a siren's call. The present is very tough because as you grow, life can be unpredictable and sometimes cruel. And in these moments, the memories of happier times can come as a welcome relief. A perfect relationship, maybe a time that we were at a good spot in our career, memories with our loved ones who maybe had passed, things in our life that we want to keep going back to. This makes finding an answer to how to let go of the past and be happy even more complex because we don't want to give up those happy memories of the past. And that can become escapism. Instead of facing today and choosing to be today and look at what memories we can keep today, sometimes it pushes us to run away from it and hide in the past. And I'm not saying to stop the memories of the past. The memories of the past, the joyful memories of our family and events, those are really, really important. But the question is can you shift and learn from the past or celebrate the past, but also create new or supporting memories for now, things that will sustain you in the future? Because if your memories are from 30 years ago and 10 years from now, you're still looking at those memories and now they're 40 years ago, it just becomes a little bit harder. So create the memories, live in the moment, celebrate the past, but create the joy and the happiness of present. Meditation and visualization is also very good tools to help you focus or to move beyond something. And sometimes we get into a place of blaming ourselves for consequences or blaming ourselves for even not being able to move forward. I find that meditation and visualization can really move us, not just in times that we might be struggling, but in times that life can be going really super good and we just need a little bit more insight. There's a chance sometimes when we're stuck or we feel stuck that we're fixated on emotions like anger, disappointment, hatred, regret, and that might be a result of your actions. But that negativity is what leads to the past resurfacing. You might need to find a way to let go of the resentment of your actions or maybe somebody else's actions. The worst thing that people do is that they hold on to regret, and that might be what is not allowing them to make peace with something of the past. The daily habit of meditation where you visualize anything that you might deem as holding you back, let's say you deem it as a mistake, look at them from an observer's perspective and allow yourself to move that energy away, much like a piece of paper or feather blowing off into the wind. Let it be liberated in such a way that you can declare it being done. Let yourself move forward. Another thing we often do is we don't feel it. And I say that if we have hurt or an emotion or that anchor that I was talking about in the past, we don't allow ourselves to feel it. And I believe we have to feel it to heal it and remember it only as something that was. And again, I'm not saying to forget it, but let the grasp that it has on you, let that go. Forget that hold. We humans, we're really good at rationalizing. When we're going through a rough patch, we tend to rely on logic to get a better grasp on the situation and shove the emotions aside. Those emotions then linger until they are acknowledged. Be it sadness, anger, despair, or even fear, your emotions need to be felt. They need to be acknowledged. Logic can help you understand and justify your feelings, but it will not make them go away. This is one of the reasons why your past might continue to haunt you, is your feelings haven't gotten closure. Feel the emotions that bubble up to the surface when you think about the past. If you're angry, then use different methods: exercising, walking, journaling, yoga, meditation, singing, dancing, crying, talking, or laughing. Find different ways to heal, to move through this energy. And also giving back. I find that giving back is getting a great perspective that when you're at the center of a situation, it can be really hard because you're in the thick of it and you're never sure what needs to be done. Sometimes you're bombarded with so many solutions and there's no way to choose one. And other times you might know the correct option, but you don't have the courage or the insight to implement it. Either way, that also might have you feeling like you're stuck in the past, which makes moving on almost impossible or very difficult. But I find another way is to gain perspective in the situation by helping someone else who is going through something very similar or the same. When you help someone by giving them advice or talking to them, you indirectly help yourself gain perspective on your own situation, your own problem. And maybe you see a solution that you didn't see before. Even if you're not able to, let's say, resolve your past, sometimes helping someone else will help you gain the insight or the closure that you need to find the solution or to find how to move forward. And I always recommend an option of getting help. Sometimes we just need to seek professional help. This might be the correct option for you. Years of repression can make thinking about the past very painful, especially in the case of anything that might be abusive. Having a safe place and a safe space where you can talk your problems through is very beneficial. You can seek out a qualified counselor or therapist who can help you gain a better understanding of your past. Create that space for you to dive into that past. And with their training, they'll be able to lead you in the right direction on how to let go and be happy again. Remember, if you're in that eye of the storm, and if getting out requires help, then there's nothing wrong with that. That might be the best solution for you. If you find yourself getting stuck in thinking in this loop of, boy, I should have, or I wish I could have, or I regret that I didn't, shift that language to, what did I learn? What was the positive outcome from this situation? And what certainly won't I do again? Talking to ourselves in a positive way can move us forward. So let's say you've just lost your job and your first response is, I can't believe this just happened to me. A shift in your thoughts might be, wow, I can't believe this happened, but I'm really fortunate to be able to find a new path in my career, one that may be better for me. Now, a positive statement like that might not be the first thing that crosses your mind if you've lost your job, but it's when we come back and we think or we rethink, we run that program, that it's important to have an interruptive statement that takes us down a different path. And sometimes it's also important to create some distance between us and the person or the situation that's causing us to be upset. And that's okay also. Sometimes we need time and space, or sometimes we need to sever something that just doesn't work for us. And also, I encourage you to do your own work. Focus on yourself and what's important to you. Understand what you need, the choices that you have. And if you've had an an episode with another person that maybe caused you pain, bring yourself back to the present and to you, something that you can work on, because you can't get into their head or into their life and heal that, but you can be in your space, your heart center, your mind processes. Practice mindfulness, where you are putting your energy. And oftentimes we expend energy on trying to fix or change or shift a situation which we have no power over. And that's where I say, come to yourself. Where can you gain your power back? And that includes being gentle with yourself, allowing yourself time, space, allowing your emotions to flow. Sometimes just an acknowledgement that something's happened, and I understand it's happened, I don't like it, allows you to then face it and move forward through it. I accept that this happened. I don't like it. I would wish that it hadn't happened, but I want to move forward from it. Is a positive statement. And then lastly, please remember to surround yourself with people that help you and support you and uphold you and give you that space, that give you permission to talk about whatever has happened. And again, sometimes it might be seeking out that professional support, someone that is an expert and seasoned and trained in the areas of helping move you through a situation, something that might be holding you back. And remember, the one thing that connects us all is that we're human beings. And as humans, we have the ability to feel pain. Whether that pain is physical or emotional or mental, we all have experiences of being hurt. What separates us, though, is how we deal with that pain. There's great resources out there that have been studied and are true to helping us move through those things that continue to create pain or the things that make us feel that we're stuck in the past. And as the universe continues to move forward, it's important to seek out those things that help move us through those stuck feelings or those things of the past, because the universe is moving us forward. Evolution is moving us forward. And more important, this world is amazing, and the universe wants us to be in a place of joy and happiness and experience the gifts, the abundance, and everything that Earth and humanity has to offer to us. And I ask that the healers, the helpers, and the protectors of the universe bring you the vibration of peace, love, truth, hope, healing, and justice, and all that energy flows directly to you when you reach out for help. I also ask that they send you courage along with love and prayers so that you can navigate the changes in the world and in your life. And I want to thank you for listening today. I'm Laurie Wondra, and I'm sending the energy of peace and love and joy out to all of you.
Thank you for listening to Messages from the Universe podcast with Laurie Wondra of Your Life Core. For current events or to schedule a private session with Laurie, please visit yourlifecore.com.